Hello, this is Chris Pickard at Body in Balance in Hertfordshire, and today is day 2 of Mental Health Awareness Week 2018. Now, there's been a lot more publicity about this year because there's a lot of royal support, and today at 10:59 there was the first Mental Health Awareness Minute to help spread awareness of the severity of mental health problems, the incidence of them, but how we can perhaps all do something about it by at least becoming aware of it. But awareness for me is not enough. There's a lot that we can actually do. Getting our lifestyle correct is one thing that protects our brain, our mood, our behavior, our body. And it has an effect on absolutely every disease. If you improve how well you move, your nutrition as well, removing toxins from your life, these all have a massive impact on your brain, because your brain is the most nutrition dependent, movement dependent, toxin vulnerable and stress vulnerable organ in the body. And most people are assaulting their body in all 4 ways: by having poor nutrition, by not moving enough, by being overly stressed, and by having too many toxins going in. A lot of them, admittedly, not by choice. Today, I'm going to talk about Alzheimer's. Why Alzheimer's? Because as the population ages, we are seeing more and more dementias. Now, dementia is just a catch-all phrase for basically meaning a group of symptoms that arise because the brain cells are no longer working properly. Now, with Alzheimer's, this starts with just simple little memory problems, like memory going a little bit. So a lot of people don't tend to worry too much about that. But then you start getting disorientated, and then mood and behavior changes set in. And by this time, Alzheimer's is very advanced. Now, original theories with Alzheimer's thought that it was to do with a build-up of something called beta amyloid plaque. And there are a lot of things that were targeted to try and get rid of the beta amyloid. But what we now think is a possible explanation is that the beta amyloid isn't the cause of the Alzheimer's. It's actually a protective reflex of the brain to protect it from infections and inflammation. One of the big causes of inflammation in the entire body, including the brain, is too much sugar, which is why Alzheimer's has got one name, which is diabetes of the brain, or diabetes type 3. And inflammation and infection get into the brain because the protection, the membrane between the brain and the body, called the blood, or the blood and the brain, called the blood-brain barrier, designed to stop all kinds of nasties getting into the brain, is actually destroyed by lots of modern man-made chemicals, including an awful lot of medication and drugs, which is one reason why actually today's medicated world is seeing a rise in Alzheimer's, because the medicine could actually be causing it later on in life. Also, what we know is that a lot of medicine destroys the normal bacteria that should be in our body, and it also lowers lowers the ability of something called our mitochondria to give energy as well. So most drugs disable our own immune defenses and energy systems. We also know that certain herbicides like glyphosate destroy the blood-brain barrier directly. So this allows more problematical pathogens into the brain. So what can we do to protect this? Well, as I said before, we can try and avoid a lot of this crud and rubbish. We can lower our sugar, we can look at lifestyle. But there are some actual steps you can take. So for instance, if you know that Alzheimer's is in the family, because there is a genetic component as well, although it does happen without these genes just make it much more likely to happen. Okay? So they don't mean you're going to get it or you're not. So you can do things like the fasting mimicking diet. I've spoken about this before. Professor Walter Longo, he really recommends, and I really recommend, that you do regular fasting to help protect your brain long term. But after the age of 70, it's maybe not a good idea to do too much fasting unless you're really robustly healthy and you're used to doing it. And so Professor Longo has found that cycling on and off just protein. So you have a week where you've got normal protein levels, and then you have a week where you have very little protein. And this actually has been shown to really improve the brain and the memory over the period of about 6 months. What else can we do? Well, it's also shown that things like increasing good fats in the form of like extra virgin coconut oil can actually help protect the brain and help improve the brain's function. Coffee can actually protect as well. So again, you've got to look at your risk. If you've got a genetic predisposition more towards Alzheimer's and heart disease, then maybe increasing the good healthy fats as opposed to all the rubbish animal fats, and also increasing coffee consumption may actually be very protective. Next thing, B vitamins, especially folate, B9 is folate, B6 and B12. Researchers from Oxford University found that by giving people with Alzheimer's this particular B vitamins in particular amounts over 2 years, improved memory, improved symptoms, improved brain protection. And they thought they did this because it lowered a particular brain toxin. Actually it's a whole body-wide toxin called homocysteine. Now, homocysteine is something that destroys arteries, it increases atherosclerosis, heart disease, it increases arthritis, and it does increase dementias like Alzheimer's as well. It's a natural byproduct of the body, but if you don't have enough what are called methyl groups, which are particular compounds to recycle it, you end up with too much of it, and it starts also turning into sulfuric acid. Nice, eh? B vitamins help return it to a healthy state. And so also extra methyl donors, so you can get methyl complexes. I've done a video about methyl complexes before. So getting your homocysteine levels checked as well, and especially if you know someone that's got Alzheimer's and they haven't had their homocysteine levels checked, get it checked, because it could be that a simple B vitamin complex, certainly the ones high in methyl donors, could actually really bring them back. Okay, so you have methyl donors over 2 years, but then there's also a spice, turmeric. Turmeric contains a compound called curcumin. Curcumin has again been shown to be wonderful for all kinds of different problems in the body, and again they've shown that given over the course of 18 months, it can improve memory by 28% in people with dementia. I think they did it actually on Alzheimer's patients. So you've got a lot of things you can do. So please go and take action, because all these things like eating a healthy diet, increasing exercise, taking B vitamins, methyl donors, curcumin, they're all very safe, they're all very effective. And please, if you're going to start increasing healthy oils and fats in your body, make sure you get someone to guide you, because you don't want to have too much fat, too many fats, because that can then start causing other problems. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I wish you all peace of mind and a long and happy life. Be well.